Okay, welcome to another tax-deductible video of this time we're going to be reviewing the Spyderco Matriarch 2. So you're going to notice that this is a hawk bill design from the Spyderco. It first started, the history of this, I'm going to show you how thin it is right here. The blade there. It's kind of a working type of blade. It's about how thin in the pocket it is. It's kind of a regular kind of Spyderco. You can consider it like a regular Spyderco lightweight as far as like size in the pocket is considered. So the history of this knife is that it came from what used to be the original design was the Spyderco Civilian. This guy right here. Okay, so the Spyderco Civilian here was the knife up top there was meant as a request to Spyderco to make a knife for U.S. Undercover narcotics agents or something like that. And they needed to design a knife that anybody could use, excuse me, that has no training in self-defense or knives or whatever. So something that's very, very easy to use. Okay, so just when you hold this knife, you can tell what they were going for. You can see the tip on this is that it's a very easy knife to slash like this with, right? And it comes from kind of a skith or a karambit design. I'm going to show you just really quick what I'm talking about. So this would be the Spyderco Carahawk. You can see like the curved design in this area. So you see the curve, the curve, the curve. So a lot of knives have these curves. Like this is the karambit, but the like a skith, like they would use as a farm equipment, uses it. It's a very efficient way of cutting things. You see a lot of animals have claws and things like that. They use it for cutting like this. But this is what it was meant for. So it was meant to have an efficient self-defense knife that was requested for the U.S. undercover narcotics guys. Okay, so the issue with this was that because it was meant solely for self-defense, I mean, it doesn't have really like that really practical of a purpose, or they were sorry, I had some goo here or whatever. Anyways, so it doesn't have like a self-defense purpose, or it's solely a self-defense purpose. That's what it was considered. And you can see kind of by the tip being so thin and how easy it would be to break off if you're using it for any kind of other task. You can see kind of where they were going with why it would be bad to have a knife like this, because even though it would be efficient, the fact is that with a tip this thin and this long, it could break. So that knife was very successful, and they had a similar request for I believe it was South Africa, who were worried that women were being assaulted in the streets and they needed something similar, like a very practical knife where a person did not need a lot of self-defense training for and that they could use. And then they called this the Matriarch. So they refined it with the Matriarch, and this is now the Matriarch 2, which is the one on sale. You can see that the tip is a little bit thicker, but it's fundamentally the same design. If you actually hold it in your hand too, you'll notice that like it feels a lot better than the Civilian as far as like you have a lot more control over the blade. So it's so that's what it is. I'll pull out a measuring tape just for practicality. So if we just pull out a measuring tape, you'll see that the blade itself is about 3.5 inches. The actual handle about let's call it 5 inches there. And overall, it's a pretty good knife. I would say it'd be good for self-defense, opening boxes. I've carried it for a bit. Personally, I think that it's a bit too short for the blade length. I normally have I normally carry with me the Police 4 model, and that just seems to sit a little bit deeper in my pocket. So this is obviously a big size knife. That's it's the Matriarch there. So you can see like this is usually the bottom knife here. The Police 4 is typically what I carry, and it just sits a little bit thinner, and it feels thinner at least. I'll show you the two close up. Doesn't seem to be that much of a difference, really. Maybe a little bit thinner on the Police 4, but maybe it's because it carries a little bit deeper in the pocket. That could be it, just because of the extra length. But either way, the Matriarch is really good. I would definitely recommend it for anybody, especially if people are going to be using these knives specifically for opening boxes, and like what you use a knife every day for. Something, it's always good to have a knife on you for first aid. For you can cut bandages from clothing to stop bleeding. If somebody's stuck in a car accident and they need to cut their seatbelt, you need to have a pocket knife. Pocket knives are very, very important for everyday use. If ever a self-defense situation does arise, which is very rare, but if it ever does, especially if you're a female or somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience with violence at all, I think that this would be a great knife. As far as like just the fact that the tip of it when slashing will actually dig into whatever it is you're slashing and make the cut for you. So without having to have too many issues. So that is the Spyderco Matriarch. If anybody has any questions, go ahead, throw them down in the comments. Thank you very much for staying with me in this video. Again, this is another good tax write-off for another knife. Really, you guys should subscribe and follow me through this kind of journey of tax write-offs that I'm going through. And quite frankly, you should join me as well and make your own channel and become a content creator and do the same thing I'm doing with reference to starting a business and tax writing off all the things that you're really into. Okay, thank you very much, and please subscribe. Throw down a comment. That always helps justify my videos to the Canada Revenue Agency. Thanks. Have a good day.